Guys.
Dude, step back.
Back up.
I'm back. I'm back.
You're game one, right?
Yeah, that's 15. Okay.
Guys,
What do we tell you?
I'm staying back.
In the first video we have seen of the arrest, ESPN's Jeff Darlington shows world number one Scottie Scheffler being taken to a squad car by two officers.
Here's the thing. Right now, he's going to jail.
Okay.
Okay? He's going to jail, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. Period. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you have
First,
a question?
I'm media. I'm a reporter. Okay. So that's all.
That's fine.
I just want to make sure that's
okay.
known.
But you need to step back over here now.
No problem. You got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Where Darlington tries explaining who they are detaining, but the cops are having none of it.
Entering Valhalla Golf Club this morning, we witnessed a car pull around us that was Scottie Scheffler was in the car. To be very clear about the details here, Scottie Scheffler has been detained by police officers, placed in the back of a police vehicle in handcuffs after he tried to pull around what he believed to be security, ended up being police officers. They told him to stop. When he didn't stop, the police officer attached himself to the vehicle. Scheffler then traveled another 10 yards before stopping the car. The police officer then grabbed at his arm, attempting to pull him out of the car before Scheffler eventually opened the door, at which point the police officer pulled Scheffler out of the car, pushed him up against the car, and immediately placed him in handcuffs.
Darlington would give his eyewitness story on the worldwide leader.
Very stunned about what was happening, looked toward me as he was in those handcuffs and said, "Please help me." He very clearly did not know what was happening in the situation. It moved very quickly, very rapidly, very aggressively. The police officers at that point did not understand that Scottie Scheffler was a golfer in the tournament, nor, of course, that he is the number one player in the world.
Well done to him for his reporting. We would then learn this.
It's from approximately 4 minutes ago. This is Scottie Scheffler. He is in that Range Rover, the first of the two cars.
From Front Office Sports, Jimmy Korchdorfer, who owns Valhalla Golf Club, personally picked up Scottie Scheffler from jail and drove him to the course.
He doesn't make headlines. He doesn't say anything. He's pretty sedate. And all of a sudden, of all the people, if I said a golfer got arrested this morning, you wouldn't have said Scottie Scheffler if I gave you 100 guesses. But here he is, arrested, mugshot, 4 charges, and now he heads to the golf course trying to win another major.
It's true. Scheffler has been known to have a squeaky clean resume. One of the most low-key guys, flies under the radar, is practically his mantra, all right? Yet here he is, via the Louisville Department of Corrections. With that mugshot Dan Patrick talked about, it's being taken and distributed to the masses. At Valhalla, he is pursuing his 5th win in 6 starts, and yet this was the story of the PGA Championship. Scottie Scheffler being detained. His attorney, would speak with CNN and multiple other outlets outside of the jail where Scottie Scheffler was being held. Meanwhile, his Instagram would show this, and it is a statement of his. This morning, I was proceeding as directed by police officers. It was a very chaotic situation. Understandably so, considering the tragic accident that had occurred earlier. I'll tell you about that in a moment. And there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do. I never intended to disregard any of the instructions. I'm hopeful to put this to the side and focus on golf today. Before reading what the LMPD put out in their statement, we need to be very clear to go over this before I read it, okay? And that is, from George Floyd and the initial statement that the Minneapolis Police Department put out to the statements that the LMPD put out as it pertained to their slaying of Breonna Taylor. Cops lie. They lie all the time in these statements because the first thing they like to do is handle the public perception and have a positive spin to try and curry personal, public perception of what just went down. It is a tactic that many who study public relations have done case studies on. How they try and win the public, okay? And they do it over and over and over again. And if y'all want a story that I could do separately on how the cops have the blueprint and they quite literally hire people to have said positive spin, I easily can. Also, you can go on demand and check out those clips. But nonetheless, here's what they said. Detective Brian Gillis was directing traffic at Shelbyville Road near Gate 1 of Valhalla Golf Club when Scheffler's SUV pulled into the lanes to avoid the traffic backup. The report said Gillis was wearing a full police uniform and a high visible, yellow reflective rain jacket. Okay. What I would love to see at this point is the body cam. The body cam will open the doors to those that they currently hold the key to. It is vital. A huge tell is going to be if they release it, when they release it, and, this is a big and, they have audio accompanying it. Because they are painting Scottie Scheffler out to be this insanely minded criminal, which I'm going to get into in a second. But it is important to weigh those three things into the next subset of steps that will come down. Gillis stopped Scheffler's car and gave instructions, but per the police statement, the subject, as in Scheffler, refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging Detective Gillis to the ground. The detective went to the hospital, and the report says his pants were damaged beyond repair. Unclear of if he wet himself there. The pants, by the way, per golf.com, are valued at $80. The outlet added Scheffler was driving, because we're talking about highly visible things in the public eye. Scheffler was driving a marked car, courtesy of Lexus at the time. There was an extra police presence on a serious note because, per PGA of America, in their own words, this morning we were devastated to learn that a worker with one of our vendors was tragically struck and killed by a shuttle bus outside Valhalla Golf Club. This is heartbreaking to all of us involved with the PGA Championship. We extend our sincere condolences to their family and loved ones. Scheffler is being charged with this. Second-degree assault of an officer, that's a felony. Third-degree criminal mischief, that's a misdemeanor. Reckless driving, a violation. And one more misdemeanor, disregarding traffic signals from an officer that was directing traffic. Via WLKY, the officer is reported to have these injuries: pain, swelling, and abrasions to his left wrist and knee. I think it's very important that if these are true, we would see more evidence of this. And I'll get into why momentarily. Scheffler's attorney is Stephen Romines. Per ESPN, he said the golfer attempted to enter Valhalla as he had been instructed to earlier, unaware that there had been a fatal wreck just up the road. He'd add he was going into Valhalla to work out. He was getting ready for his tee time. They were directing traffic. He held his credential out and was going in like they'd been instructed to. Apparently, there had been a traffic accident, maybe even a fatality down the road. Obviously, this came out prior to us learning that. And that had changed the traffic patterns, and he was unaware of that. From CNN, Ro Mines, his attorney, says multiple eyewitnesses have confirmed that Scheffler did not do anything wrong but drove as directed. This is key. Via Ro Mines once more, he stopped immediately upon being directed to and never at any point assaulted any officer with his vehicle. We will plead not guilty and litigate this matter as needed. To wrap this up, Scottie Scheffler entered Friday, I believe, 12 back. He is now tied for third. If he does win, it will not only be, as I stated previously, his fifth win in 6 starts, in his last 6. But this will also lead to the internet going crazy. From a police front, I have to reiterate that there are many media outlets that will take police statements at face value when they should not. It should be reiterated that throughout time, in order for a lot of these precincts to manufacture consent, they will put out a false statement. And an officer will bend the truth and deceive the public in order to get said public on their side. And look no further than when Masai Ujiri, go back and check out our clips on demand, what happened with him? And what happened with the officer? Because that officer lied too. He said that he couldn't work. And then he was found doing plenty of it on the side. So I leave you with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. If you can, please do support us here at TYT Sports. Become a channel member. Go to youtube.com/TYT Sports and click the join button. And or go to TYT.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate all the love.